In the previous exercise, we used Dynamo to create the logic for a basic single-point attractor system. In this tutorial, we are going to modify the attractor system. In this case, we are going to use the attractor system to place instances of a family and control its instance parameters. This particular family shows the creation of a simple geometric box. The box has instance parameters for both length and width. I'm going to load this family into the project. When it's loaded into the project, you can see that I can place this family by specifying a point in space. However, instead of placing these objects manually, I want to use Dynamo to control the placement. Currently, my definition allows for the creation of points and circles. In Dynamo, I'm going to delete the circle component in the 3D preview. In Dynamo, I am now going to search for the Create Family Instance component. The Create Family Instance component allows me to place a family by specifying an XYZ location. I will also need to specify the type of family I want to place. I'm going to connect the XYZ grid into the XYZ input of the Create Family instance. I now need to identify the type of family I want to place. I can specify the type of family by finding the Select Family Type component. In the drop-down, I can specify which family I want to place using these points. I'm going to connect the Select Family Type component into the type input of the Create Family instance component. When I click Run, multiple instances of the family will be placed at the grid locations. You can see that the families are very close together, so I want to increase the spacing of the grid so there is a more generous space around each of the families. By clicking Run in Dynamo, the families will be replaced at the new coordinate locations. Now that the families have been created, I want to use Dynamo to control the instance parameters of each of the box families. Within Vasari, you can see that by clicking on one of these boxes, I can easily access the width and length parameters for each of the boxes. Individually manipulating all of the instance parameters for these boxes would be a very time-consuming task. However, we can manipulate these with ease using Dynamo. To change all of the instance parameters for these boxes, I need to search for the Set Family Instance Parameter component. The Set Family Instance Parameter component will allow me to access and manipulate all of the instance parameters for the specified family object. First, I need to connect my family instances into the Set Family Instance input. Secondly, I need to specify which parameter I want to manipulate. I can specify the name of the parameter by finding a string component. By clicking on one of the family instances, you can see that we have instances for width and length. I'm going to enter in the parameter width. I'm then going to connect that string into the parameter input. Next, we need to specify. Finally, we can use our list of divided distances as the value input. By clicking Run in Dynamo, Dynamo will iterate through each of the boxes and change its width parameter accordingly. Depending on how much geometry you have in your scene, this may take a little bit of time. Here we can see that the width parameter has now been adjusted for each of the boxes. If we want to now manipulate the length parameter, we can simply copy and paste the string and set family instance parameter components. Finally, we need to change our parameter name to be length. If we hit Run again, Dynamo will iterate through all of the family instances and change the length parameter. We can now see the attractor system operating on each of the family instances in the way that we want. With the system now set up, I can use Dynamo to create iterations of my Vasari model. For example, if I decrease the division amount, I can control the instance parameters and make every single box larger. I can also study the effects of changing the position of my attractor point. Using Dynamo, I can change the X and Y position of the attractor point, which will have effects on the overall outcome of the instance parameters in my families. Depending on the extent of the change, Vasari may take a little bit of time to refresh. This is because we are dealing with intelligent family instances and not abstract geometry. Vasari needs to commit these changes to the Building Information Modeling database and then refresh the display in the document. When we are finished manipulating all the instance parameters, we can close Dynamo. We are now left with an interesting design effect made up of families and instance parameters that would be very difficult to achieve using conventional modeling methods in Vasari and Revit.